Yo, we are back. It's Wednesday, baby. All right. Hey, so hey, you got your man, Mr. Chaka here. I'm back in here. All right. I got the big homie, Black Pearl.
It's the Pearl, your girl.
Looking like the ill Nana Foxy Brown.
You see, they
reincarnated in the flesh. All right. Not like, well, she ain't dead, so not reincarnated. But you know
I'm about to say not reincarnated.
You know what I mean. No. All right. We got Royal Rain.
What's up? What's up?
Got that.
No, correct that. It's Dr. Rain.
Dr. Rain. All right. She got the fresh blowout with the hanging down to the side. Killing them. All right, as always. All right. And we have right, here we go. An oldie but goodie special guest for tonight. All right. We got, what's that say?
Miscommunication.
Oh my gosh. What's happening?
Hey guys, what's going on? Missed y'all a lot, actually.
Man, boy, I tell you what, but it's a lot of estrogen up here on the screen today. It's a lot of estrogen.
And look at you, blessed to be in its presence.
Well, good thing I got enough testosterone to hold my own, boy. If I was one of them weekies, boy, I'll be struggling, boy. You know, I'm
to tell you.
I'm pretty potent, though. I can handle it.
It's okay. That just means that you need to get back with your vet gang and have.
I do. We had that's coming. We had a conversation. So the testosterone is going to be high. It's going to be foolishness. That's coming back. That's just.
You said it's going to be foolishness.
Foolishness. All right. And intelligence, because we've been breaking it down though. We're smart with it, you know. All right. So, how's everybody's week been? What's been going on?
Well, let's ask our guests first. How's things been happening with you and your life, Miss Communication?
I mean, it's a new year, so you know I'm trying some new things.
Are you on that new year, new me?
No, I'm not really doing new me as much as I'm doing better me. You know.
Oh, know better, do better.
Yeah, I'm just trying to do. I wouldn't even say live it within my purpose because that sounds all cliche and stuff, but I'm trying to like absolutely do only things that bring me joy.
Come on now.
So there are some things that need to be removed, and they're going to be removed as time moves on. Mm-hmm. But it's like, you know, some things that need to be removed I actually still need right now. So, and I'm quite sure everybody knows what we're talking about when it comes. Listen, a paycheck is a paycheck, right? Okay. But sometimes you gotta like reevaluate, you know, what is making you happy. Because if you come home every day,
absolutely,
and you feel like you want to fight everybody that's around you, it's time to reevaluate some things. So that's what I'm doing for, you know, and I'm hitting, you know, we're hitting that milestone age coming up in a couple of months.
Don't be telling people our business. Don't tell people our business.
Oh, okay. But guess what? It's still good over here, though.
so you talking about 25?
Oh,
30?
Right?
And this is why the testosterone is on the panel.
Thank you.
Know how to catch it for us.
Thank you very much.
Oh my God. What about you, Dr. Rain? How's your week?
I'm tired, boss. I am. I'm so tired. But I'm here with y'all, but I'm so tired.
Kicking ass, gotta be doing that and make you tired kicking ass like that, you know.
Baby. But it's all good. So, but yeah, everything is well. I can't complain.
Nice. I guess it's my turn. It's my turn because you asked the original question.
I did.
This week has been tough as hell. But guess what? I'm still here. I'm still smiling. And one of the wonderful things about me is I'm resilient. So, you thought you got me, but you didn't.
You can't bury a seed, right? You can't bury a seed.
Right.
Look. Through, right? Yeah, cool. Yeah, hey, my week's been cool, man. I actually had a couple of days off from school. Went to a conference, met some cool people, hung out, you know, made some contacts, try to get some kids in college.
That's all good.
Get that black education.
Yeah. Hey, man, tell your kids to have their GPAs up. Because some of them kids have me looking crazy. But that's a whole nother story.
You ain't talking to me because trust.
You know. Yeah, them GPAs need to be up there, though. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was cool.
Student athlete.
Boy, some of them they be forgetting half of that thing, boy. But it's
I thought you can't play sports if your grades are not.
Oh no, you can play sports, but the criteria is higher for college than to be able to play sports in high school.
Right.
So, like that 2.0 when
it must have just been my children, because if they didn't have a certain GPA. They couldn't play.
Oh, that's parenting. They see that's the whole,
Thank you. I try.
See, you did your thing. You did your thing. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, y'all representing me. Y'all can't be dummies.
You got some parents out here. They get that 2.0. They be bragging about it. Oh, my baby got 2.0. Then them colleges be like, oh.
No.
Be like, oh, get them out of here. But yeah, man. But I was speaking of football, man. I seen my man D Hamlin, man. They released him from the hospital.
Yes.
So
that's a blessing.
That was good, man. That was good. I was happy to see that. Mm-hmm. Man, I was, everybody was shook when he went down. That was crazy.
It was.
He went down, and it was like died on the field. Had to bring him back. Like, I'm like, bro, that's real. That's real.
Second chances are real amazing, boy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So shout out to him. Shout out to everybody that showed him love. That was a good thing about that whole ordeal, man. People kind of came together. I think it was
wonderful how everyone came together. Can we come together like that, even if someone's not dying?
That would be nice, but you know how people do. You gotta be half dead for people to come together a lot of times.
Oh, so we all gotta play Lazarus.
I pass out. I'm gonna be like, oh, they will come together now. It's wild, but hey, that's how they do. So that was cool. People showing love, to each other. And speaking of love, right?
Speaking of love, because I love you guys.
So we kind of came here to talk about, now. So here's a story that the girls, they want to talk about this love language.
Why gotta be the girls?
No, that's just how it kind of was.
You don't know the girls.
And I was like, cool. I was like, cool.
And the guys.
I'm not an expert on it, Although I know somebody who's read the book and sleep beside, but I still haven't read it myself. So we got what's the 5 love languages? Is
5 love languages.
Is what we got here? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So somebody wrote a book. Somebody's an expert. What made them an expert? I'm going to ask. We're going to find out. And so we got what's his acts of service? Gifts. Physical touch. Oh,
which is not sex.
Jungle fever. They got a jungle fever touch. All right, I like that.
Did you say
quality time.
Look at the picture, the image. Go ahead, Tyrone. Go ahead.
Keep going. Quality time.
There we go. Quality time. Words of affirmation. Talking good. What's that? Talking good about people, right?
Well, come take this down. Let's talk. So I can see your face, Mr. Right. Chocolate. I sent all of you the test to take.
Yes.
You did.
Did everybody take it?
Yes.
All right. So, Mr. Chocolate, since you're talking about the girls, wanted to talk about love. What was your main love language?
My main love language was hold on, what was that again?
I know what it was. You want me to tell you?
Oh yeah, you remember? Oh, mine
was physical touch.
Yeah. So I had 33%. Physical touch.
Physical touch.
Wow.
So apparently, I like touching people.
Yeah, but can we say for the record?
Well, not people.
Can we say for the record, physical touch is not sex?
We got it.
I mean, sex is involved, but we want you guys to understand that sex and love are 2 different entities.
Yeah.
Okay, that sometimes play together, but don't necessarily have to.
When I said I like touching people, I meant the person
legally,
right? I don't want people thinking that because I ain't no creep. And then
touch me, Mr. Chocolate.
Yeah.
Touch me, come on.
That does sound creepy.
Okay. All right. I forgot that y'all are nuts like this, but okay.
And then I had 30% words of affirmation. All right, so okay, all right. I can see.
You want to hear someone say, "You did good, baby." That's what you want to hear. Okay. Yeah. Keep going.
Okay, I guess so. Then we got 27% quality time.
Aw.
All right.
Well, you gotta have some quality time if you're touching people. So
then I had 7% acts of service and 3% in gifts. Okay.
Okay. Well, I didn't copy down my percentages, but I'm so glad you said that. What about you, Royal?
So it was interesting because
Lord.
no. It was interesting to look at and consider Mr. Chocolate in comparison to mine. Because I already knew I don't like people touching me. Don't put your hands on me unless you're gonna rub me you rub me the right way and we could talk. But just in general, the whole hug, holding hands, just please get off me. Just don't damn touch me.
Oh Lord.
Okay. Get off
Lord.
Yeah, so I thought that was interesting. So to answer your questions, Pearl, my top was quality time, which is 32%. Words of affirmation, 29%, and acts of service was in number 3 at 23%. And physical touch and receiving gifts was at the bottom.
Like that?
At the bottom.
All right, Miss Communication. What were yours?
So I took this test a long time ago. And when I took it again, so I was like, I wanted to see if it kind of lined up, and it did. It did line up. So my two are words of affirmation and quality time.
Oh, nice.
Which is funny because that it's like it's funny because it's so me. Like that is just so me on all levels. Like from a little child, I like to be told, "Yeah, you did a good job," or you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like that kind of thing. I've always been so that kind of like feeds into my what's that thing that you have, that perfectionist type situation. I'm not a perfectionist, but I'm kind of like that's in my zone and within my soul is kind of like that. But the quality time, man, listen, and that's a serious one for me. The other ones, I don't even know what the other ones, what my percentages was, but I knew that was not going to be like gifts. I could care less. Like, don't try to impress me with something that you bought. You know what I'm saying? Like, but then again, gifts are not just things you buy, but
it's sentimental things. Like I saw this, it reminded me of you.
Right. Like that's cute and all, like I like mugs and stuff like that. That's cute, but quality time and that words of affirmation, those are the things that feed my soul. Really.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna tell you mine, and then we're gonna kind of talk about what each one of these are. So I always seem to have quality time and acts of service always seem to come neck and neck. Like sometimes acts of service is first, sometimes quality time. So those are my first two, then physical touch. No, sorry. And then and then words of affirmation and gifts. It goes with my personality. But one thing I'm going to add that's a little different than the test you took is that makes me feel love, but I realize that what I use to show that I care, and I'm not talking about just like a partnership. Now I'm talking about outside partnership. And it's so funny because people at work told me this are words of affirmation. I'm always like, you can do it. You got this. I believe in you. And they're like,
you're a cheerleader.
Like, I do mean that.
Yeah, you're a cheerleader.
But you don't do it back to me. I don't need you to hear me. I'll do that to myself. I don't. But which is
interesting because normally what people know is people don't understand about their own love languages. That tends to be the language that you use to love people.
Yeah. Right.
So it's so interesting that's not your main way of showing love.
Yeah.
That's interesting to me because that is
I'm not normal. You have to know I'm not normal.
Very abnormal.
Because all right, and we're gonna talk about what each of. Because growing up, my mother's love language is gift giving. When I know I was doing good, stuff would come in. Just like look what I got. We're eating out. Da da da. Let me mess up. Just like that. That's the she walk in. So I think a little bit of everything works. But I'm also a chameleon. If my partner, if their love language is physical touch, now mine is physical touch because I know when you're doing that, listen, I know when you're touching me physically, you're showing me love. So now I've adopted that. Does that make sense?
It does. But you know what's interesting about that statement is that I find a lot of times people misunderstand love being given if it's not given in their language. So
absolutely, which is Go ahead, miscommunication.
So, all right,
so important.
So, like, take for instance, I've dated people who want to give me stuff and want to touch me all the time because that's their love language, right?
Right.
Whereas, and I don't. That does nothing for me. Nothing. I'm not saying that touching me and buying me stuff is not going to get you there.
Yeah,
but
let's make that clear.
It's not
that we don't like to be touched. It's just not what shows
the love language is so funny because the language, the reason why once I told my mother and father this, they've been married for 46 years. The reason why they've been married for 46 years is because both of them really and truly understand each other's love language. Mm-hmm. So they speak to each other in the language that they understand. Mm-hmm. So although this man is buying me stuff and he's, fixing something for me, I don't receive it the way I would have received it if he sat there and just listened to me talk or texted me good morning every morning. Mm-hmm. That to me, I get. I'm like, ooh, my love cup is being filled by that. Mm-hmm. Now, at the same token, that same man may not even be his love language. That's just the way he decides to express it. Mm-hmm. And that to me is like
I'll share
so interesting in terms of like humanity. Mm-hmm. Like that usually if we all did speak the same exact love language all the time to each other and we understood it, we might get a lot further, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
It does.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Royal.
No, I was going to say it does, but I also like what you said earlier, which is the example that you gave about your parents. And I think within a relationship, friendship, partnership, marriage, whatever it may be, it's important to understand that your love language is your love language. And it's important for the other person to understand it's okay that our love languages are different.
Correct.
And sometimes you have to have a conversation about the fact of, and I'm going to use the example about, because our love languages are similar, Lynn. So when it comes to touch, us again, I don't have a problem with the sex department, but just the whole PDA aspect of things, holding hands and all that stuff. I'm good on that. And so if that's my husband's love language for the sake of conversation, but that's not mine, and I keep doing this number, blocking them, right? He might internalize that as, oh,
she don't love me.
She don't want me.
Right. And that's where communication, right? That's when communication comes into play, because we have to have a sit-down conversation so that we don't have a misunderstanding or miscommunication going on within our relationship. It's not that the love isn't there. It's just that we communicate differently.
So we can.
Let me say real quick. I don't think mine's is right.
Yeah. So you were just answering questions to answer questions.
I got an issue with this thing. So I was taking a test, and they're asking me stuff, and it was like, "Hey, would you rather be touched or have somebody buy you something?" And I'm like, "Really, neither. I mean, it don't really matter either way." But so I'm picking the lesser of. I think mine's is something else. I think I got another language that ain't up there.
What's your language that's not? So what does wifey chocolate do that makes you go, I know she loves me? Not say I love you. Well, it could be.
Look at his face.
Wait. Look. So we don't need you to share no swallowing, no gymnastics. We don't outside of that.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. What does she do? Like for me, I think there's one in there that I like. So you know how the quality time is?
Yeah.
I love when somebody gives me space. Like if you say
what all of our faces.
Listen. Like when somebody says, yo, hey, You going fishing for a couple hours. I want you to do that. I want you to do that and enjoy yourself. And I can be somewhere and be relaxed and not worry about somebody being like, why you gone? Damn it, why you gone?
You about to make somebody mad.
Like it makes me appreciate. It's like a love, what this love language stuff that y'all. That's my. It's like, hey, free, a little bit of.
So when someone shows you they trust you.
Yeah, or some. Yeah, or like not
space. Okay, I understand. Okay.
Yeah,
but wouldn't that in a way be affirmation? I'm affirming that I know.
I'm gonna tell him. So, my veteran friend, because my husband is a veteran as well. Y'all are very similar, and so when it talks about touch, because we can be in the same. I lie to we can be in the exact same room. And not say two freaking words to each other. Like he in his space, I'm in my space. We're in the exact same room. But when I go by, I might look at him and smile and I go on about my business or vice versa. But as far as us, right. And this is what I'm hearing from you. So when it talks about an expert panelist on the 5 love languages, when it talks about the physical touch, again, it has nothing necessarily to do with, we keep using examples of physical touch, but in all seriousness, it has to also do with, and correct me you guys if I'm wrong, but just sometimes being in the presence of that other person.
Yeah, the presence of your people,
the energy.
Because I'm not necessarily, I don't like being all up under people for a long time like that. But like the presence, like I could sit and chill, be reading, doing whatever we doing. Like I'm good with that. Just the presence. Yeah. See,
but what's interesting about what you're saying is it's very interesting that you said that, because here's the thing: some of these love language do intertwine, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm not a real physical touch person, but when I'm with somebody that I really am digging like that. Mm-hmm. I'd like to spend time touching you,
cuddling and stuff
right. Like so normally like you said, I'm not into okay, all right. Sometimes person get in the car and grab my leg and I'm like, all right, you're doing too much now. I'm about to
thank you, New York. And just in case we're figuring where you're from.
I'm about to kill everybody in the streets because now you're touching the leg that I'm driving with. Like what's really good, stop. But funny enough is that the same token, when I am in the mood for something like that, or like even when he, says something to me and it's like, oh, okay. Oh, and now
you want to touch him.
When someone gives you the rhythm, the vibe, the energy, you know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden it's like, okay, you could yes, I want to be snuggled up underneath you, although that's not a thing, but that's the quality time part, right? So I'm spending quality time snuggled up beneath you, right?
Right.
It's that thing.
I think I agree with you on that. So for me, like I told you, quality time and acts of service go hand in hand for me, because usually quality time does not mean I need to be with you all the time, every day, all day. I don't need to do that. Right. I can be in your presence doing nothing. You over there sleeping and I'm over here, right? That doesn't bother me. I think quality time pours into acts of service to me, because you get to know me, you get to know more about me. I get to go, hey, baby, I had a hard day. And they be like, come over, boom, dinner. Oh, I love you. Like, and it's not because it's food, but you're like, I want to make your day better. Right.
Right.
I don't want you to have to worry about what you're going to eat, whatever like that. But don't just make me dinner and go away. I want to spend time. I want to share this moment with you. So I think the reason why it always goes almost hand in hand or a couple of percentages apart is because quality time is a time of building. And I'm an energy person, engaging in that energy, understanding. And acts of service shows me that the quality time has built that nonverbal understanding of one another.
Right.
My main act of service over all of this that's never in this love test is consistency. I don't care what you're showing me. If it's consistent, I love it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want it just once in a while sporadically. I do want it consistently. And I realize that's really important for me. as
so,
well.
So can we talk about these 5 different love languages and what they are and
Absolutely.
Did a woman create these, or did a man create these?
A man created it.
It was a man.
Wait, a Christian man created it. Let me just give it. Look, because you feel the estrogen coming from the talk.
Because it's so wordy. It seems,
but it's simple though. You think about it. It's very simple. Like if you think about language in its simple and simplicity, right? You have certain things. You have nouns and verbs and adjectives. And you have parts of language, right? So if you write a sentence, I love you, right? I, that's obviously the noun, right? Love,
all right, grammar teacher,
right? Love, which is the actual verb. If we really want to break it down, love is a verb, it's an action, right? You being another noun, meaning this, I'm giving this to you, right? So if I'm able to show you in all of this, right?
Yes, Creature Jones. So wordy makes it feminine. Absolutely. Yes, because y'all be talking a lot.
But the funny thing about that,
that's okay. And that's okay.
The funny thing about that, like back to what I was saying, is that when you actually use the word, language, right, and you just say, okay, I'm trying to get my point across, and the way I'm getting my point across is that I know this person likes quality time, so I'm going to put my phone down and I'm going to spend some time with this person.
That's important too. Put the phone down. Yes.
Put my phone down. I'm not going to pick it up. I'm not going to look at it. I'm not going to play I'm not going to watch the game or certain things. I'm going to give you actually interrupted energy.
Yeah, you got to take one for the team sometimes. You got.
Well, quality time literally is just that. So it's the time that you spend in someone else's presence. Sometimes a person who likes quality time, you don't even have to be doing anything. You could just be in that presence, watching television, not watching.
Not all of them though. It's people.
I know.
Be in a room together and they be like, why you not on my lap? Like what?
Why you not on my lap? Okay, well, Quality time is also, hey, I know this is the activity that you enjoy, so I'm going to be there while you're doing that activity. You like watching football, I'm going to watch football with you. It doesn't mean I like football, but because I know that's something that you like, I'm spending time doing that. Quality time is also, trying new things together. That's another thing I like. I want to be the first one you try stuff with, which is kind of hard as you get older. But I always find something. But, that is also quality time.
If you're trying to jump out of planes, and and I'm over that, then I might let you try that on your own. Just give me an update about how. Well, I'll sit and listen. Now, how was that? That was nice. Okay.
No, it's more like, hey, I enjoy doing that. And I'm like, okay, I want to try to do that with you to see what you enjoy. If I don't like it, it's okay. I don't like it, but I'm still going to do things like, example, I don't know. I'm being exaggerative. I like tap dancing. I try to go tap dancing. I don't like tap dancing, but when you go, sometimes I'm going to go with you. I'm going to see, I'm going to enjoy, I'm going to support you because that's me enjoying. That's what I'm saying. So that's the quality time aspect. Are we all good? Quality time was the easiest one to explain.
Now, like my wife likes a kayak, and I went with her the first time, and dude made me go into a little park with a bunch of branches, and I flipped over, and I'm in the water, oh, you see, y'all want to. I saw you about to laugh at it. It was okay though. I made it. I flipped over.
Well, obviously you here. We know you made it.
It is what it is. Wow. Yeah, I flipped over and fell in the water and looked crazy, But
you did it with her, and she was probably so excited that you came. You don't even you said that this is probably a woman who did it because it's so wordy. But so often men or partners, because we know now it's not always men and women, ask, what do y'all want? Well, these are all different ways that you can love on the person that you care about, right? Because you might be like, oh, the last person, and I'm not saying men, people might say the last person I was with liked when I got them flowers. That might not do it for the next.
At all.
At
all.
Yeah.
At all.
You had to clap.
Like that's just relationships. That's just understanding relationships based
on some people checklist in relationships.
Yeah, like everybody's not the same.
That's the other thing. It's like a lot of times people think that I am this way, right? Like take for instance, if let's just say I'm sick. I'm gonna give you a perfect example. I'm sick and I need to go to the emergency room, right? You can call me an Uber to take me to the emergency room, or you can take me there yourself. Right. I still got to the emergency.
There's people who do that.
I have people in my life that.
I mean, I've gone to the emergency room with someone I cared for and just sat there waiting for them till they were ready.
Look, so right. If my wife's got to go to the emergency room, I'm gonna call her an Uber.
No, but that's not.
You said wife.
It's not just wife though. Here's the thing about love.
It could be a friend. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't.
Okay. I'm thinking like, what? I'm like, that's crazy.
Love languages can be for friends too.
It can be for family.
They could be for family. It could be for kids.
Man, they be all right.
Yeah, it's all about relationships.
I have a relative that will call you an Uber. I have a relative that if you need something, they will order it with order it from one of them apps or whatever, you know what I'm saying, Uber Eats or whatever the case may be, and and they feel as though that's okay. But in actuality, what I wanted you to do is I wanted you to get in your car and drive me there. What I wanted you to do is instead of going and call it Uber Eats, I wanted you to go to the bakery yourself, pick out the cake and bring it. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted. That's what to me that means that you actually care. Yeah, and that's the problem. Sometimes people think that it's that's how you show people caring, right?
I'm gonna tell you something though. If any relative or friend, anybody close to me, if I'm having a medical emergency and you there, you got a car, you call me an Uber.
You better
You better hope I don't make it, because when I come back and I'm healthy enough, if we the same gender, we gonna have an issue.
This has been a public service announcement from
if I get an Uber and the Uber drives by your car on the way to the hospital, we got problems.
You've been warned, is basically what I'm saying.
Well, all right, so let's move on to the next one. So the next love language is acts of service. So acts of service is if you see someone is having a hard day or they're having a challenge with something, you help them. It could be chores, it could be hobbies, it could be something like making dinner, it could be for those who have children, it could be, hey, I'm gonna take your kid to the park. It's just one of those, I want to help you because I know this is something that you want done or you need done. It could be cleaning the house. It could be, hey, I'm off today and I know you're gonna be coming from work tired, so I know you usually do laundry, I'll do laundry. So those are acts of service.
Okay.
I think a lot of times you have to know the person that you're with a lot of times to do acts of service, which is why I said quality time helps. But acts of service is just, I see this is a lot, or I know this would help your day be easier. Let me do this for you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So acts of, not the nasty version of acts of service. Oh, look, Lynette, you already took your test.
Nah, that's not the nasty stuff of service too. Wait, hold up now. Hold up, that's not skip past the nasty stuff. Acts of service too. You know,
I don't think giving someone service is no. I can't even finish my sentence. I'm like,
you stressed. No, you stressed out.
That's not making
such a stressful day.
No, but stressed out. You know what's funny? Because you know a massage is actually considered acts of service.
Like you're right, a massage.
Yeah. I bring you a drink. That's
right.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, make a drink that you know I like.
Ooh, right. So there was that show, Married at First Sight. Cool there was a young lady on the show, and everybody always said she was so cold to this guy. Right? She was always so cold and so cold and so cold. In actuality, she would always get up in the middle of the night and cook for him, and make these like banging meals. Like she would make
the African American couple that got
she would make catfish and all this other stuff. And everybody used to say all the time, "Oh, she's real cold when she's not into him." That was her love language. Acts of service was her love language, and she would get up and do that. So it's like, and she did it because she really did care about him. So in actuality, you got to understand that sometimes what people don't understand is that the way I love you might be the way I want to be loved, or it may be the way I translate love to you. You know what I'm saying? Because yes, and yes is a word that is in a lot of languages, right? So there's C and there's yes and there's we, but it all means the same thing. It all means yes.
Mm-hmm. I did everybody understands to realize you were talking a different language.
So I got a question. I got a question.
Says the woman who speaks 3 languages, right?
So I'm looking at this, you know, and we're digging into this, right?
Yeah.
And it sounds all great. It's like it's all like yes, kumbaya. But I see where this can be used for evil. This can turn dark. Absolutely, it can. What y'all don't see it?
No.
Evil how, Mr. Chocolate? Evil
okay,
how?
So I'm just saying.
Break it down for us.
So if you got the wrong partner, one of them like extra dramatic partners who maybe
manipulative and all that other stuff.
So you can say, hey, my love language is this, okay? And look, and if you're not doing exactly what my love language is, then you just say nothing. You're terrible at the like people can use it. Problem. Yeah, right. but I'm saying everybody's not like, you know, a good partner.
So
and you're right.
Hands of a wrong partner.
And so
this could be manipulation city right here.
And you find those who manipulate you through those things. However, as much as we would like to pretend that this can be checklist, like many things, it's natural and you could play a role for so long, but the natural attributes of who you are will float to the top. You're going to be like, okay, let's say that is the situation. I'm dealing with it. I'm dealing with it. After a while, you're like, this ain't it.
And can I add to what you're saying, which is
yes, Krisha.
Mr. Chocolate, to your point, I want to just make sure we are all viewers as well. We're all on the same page and understand that when we're talking about love languages, we're talking about how we communicate or express our love to one another. Now, we're not going to go down this rabbit hole, which is because the rabbit hole.
No, it is a rabbit hole. We Alice in Wonderland sometimes.
Because the rabbit hole is when you're in a relationship with someone or have a relationship with someone, whoever that may be, family, friend, foe, whatever, right? Whatever the scenario is, when you're in this relationship, the thing is everybody doesn't know how to love or what love is. Correct. That's the rabbit hole that we're not going to go down.
And
I just want because to me,
then we're gonna be like self-love, this love, ex-love. No,
because honestly, Mr. Chocolate, what you're talking about, sweetheart, is exactly that toxic person, male or female, whatever, or indifferent, that you're in a relationship or have a relationship with that don't even know how to love. So therefore, if they don't know how to love, they don't even know what their love language is, period.
They don't know what love is. How can they have a language?
Right. And they're gonna click on the link and take the test, and they're gonna wear somebody out. They're gonna wear
a mess. Out. One thing I can also tell you that recent stats have shown is that independent women, you know, the ones y'all say are so hard to love and they're tough, their love language is acts of service. Because you see them doing all the things alone and you stepped in and go, I know you can do it, but I'm here to tell you you don't have to do it, and step in and do that. So that is something that
they are hard to love. Why are you quoting hard to love? Ain't no
and I'm gonna keep my quotes up.
They are.
They are not hard to love. There's layers to them. That's all.
They're like onions. They're like onions. They're like onions. There's layers.
They're like onions. Get to the layers. Yeah. All right. So another love language is physical touch. We talked about that. So we'll touch on it real quick again. So physical touch, though it can be sex, is not always sex. It can be a pat on the shoulder. I know some people like high fives and fist pumps. It can be foot massages. How about it doesn't always have to be the massage that leads to sex. Right. That leads to sex. I'm just saying it happens. We've all been there. We grown. We know how that is.
Yeah. Massages are massages. No ulterior motives.
It could be hugs. It could be cuddles. Some people love to cuddle. I know oftentimes physical touch does work hand in hand with PDA, public displays of affection, but not necessary. But some people want you to like grab them and slap them on the behind so everybody knows this is mine, you know.
Yeah.
I
never been a big out in public like booty slapper. Now I'll slap your butt.
People like that. Grab my
butt. Yeah, no, like I'm more of like, you know, in the kitchen, you know, something like that. I ain't gonna be out.
Sweet, yeah.
I ain't gonna be out like in the mall and we just smacking ass. That's not. I don't judge anybody who does.
I mean, if the feeling hits you, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, if I walk past you and that thing is looking at like,
I mean, you could be out at a party. Let me tell my secret. You could be out at a party and walk up and be like, oh, wait till we get home.
Right.
You know what I mean? They could
be Now I might just walk by and give a subtle rub, like, you know, but I ain't gonna be all like, blah, like, that's weird to me, like
let the money start flying.
You at the mall, you just smacking it like that, like
no. And remember, this is supposed to edify and uplift. You know, all that other stuff can be done else. You know, but I'm just saying it's not everybody's thing. It's just not.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, words of affirmation. Now, Lynn, I know this is your thing. You want to take it or you want me to take it?
I'll take words of affirmation.
Go ahead.
Words of affirmation are just the idea that you feed the person's energy by giving them encouragement, by letting them know how much you think about them. And words of affirmation can be verbal. It also be written down. It can be as simple as, you know, you can even send somebody, like, you know, sometimes you'll send somebody a link for like Spotify. Oh, I heard this song and I thought about you, like that.
Or write a love letter, a little note for your lunch.
Words of affirmation, a card. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, giving them a card, or, you know, that text. Listen,
or like for example, it could be like, oh, I know you. Did you do this? Oh, this looks just like you. This looks like your work. Or you're such a good mother. Oh my gosh, it's just like those things count as well a lot. I know we also always think it's verbal, but it is definitely like the song. I heard the song, I thought of you. Love letters, cards, little notes,
my favorite
text messages.
My favorite is I have, and I'm not gonna lie, like I've been at work and I have a special tone on my phone, right? Like a special tone for somebody very special.
Mm-hmm.
And when that tone goes off, everybody, or my coworkers or whatever, or people who know me, know that I could be in the middle of doing something, all of a sudden that tone goes off, my face literally lights up every time. It never fails. And it's because in that moment, I know that I crossed his mind.
Right.
That is the point. That's the real idea. It's like
I do that too. Like that person's thinking about me.
You know, and I really get giddy, and it's funny because it's crazy. Because if he calls, that's cool and everything like that. But it's that middle of the day. I was thinking about you, or that random text message.
The randoms, yeah.
Oh my gosh! Like, please.
Oh my God, you about to hold your head, like
okay.
Why are we doing this?
Well, let me address this question from Katina. But do you need to love your partner in their love language?
Yes.
No.
You don't have to, but I think you should try.
What you said? You said no, Royal?
I said no.
Why do you say no? Let's stay with you. Why do you say no?
Because, like I said, I don't touch people. I don't even touch my kids. I'm serious. I don't. Y'all can. I mean, not y'all judging me, but whoever wants to judge me, you can judge me. But I don't. I'm not a hugger. I'm not a woo woo woo. I love you. Like if my kid falls down, I'm like, get up.
Right.
Yeah.
You be all right.
Yeah. You should be an islander, African.
Right. or if they start crying, suck that shit up and let's go. Let's get it together. Come on. I'm serious. Like that's really me for real. My kids will attest, even down to the youngest one. So, but I show them love in a different way, which is what we're talking about. So for me, I'll use my husband. I know what his love language is, which is touch. I don't want to touch you, man. Now,
touch him a little bit.
Yeah, but that's different. That's a different type of touch. You understand what I'm saying? Like it's, and again, that's why I like the fact that we're making that clear distinction. That's a different type of touch.
So I'm saying, so wouldn't it be at some point? Sometimes you can't understand. Where's understanding at? Where you understand?
Right, that's what I'm saying.
You know, hey, like she don't like the touch. I know I want to like meet in the middle somewhere, like, because some people don't do this. Like, nah, my love language is touch. You need to touch me because that's my love language.
And he has to have other love languages.
He does, and so I'll focus in on those things, like words of affirmation. Like I'm really big about making sure that my husband knows how much I appreciate every little thing he does.
Well, that's the thing. You are speaking his language, so
so I'm focusing on I guess my love language that relates to his love language, or is in alignment with his love language, if that makes sense.
But so there's a compromise there. So
I guess it is. Yeah.
I guess what I'm saying is every one of your love languages does not have to be mastered by your partner, because love language is not just for partners. Love language is how your kids receive love, how you give your kids love, how you give your friends love, things like that. For those of you that don't know, I've known Lynn for quite some time. So I know no matter what's going on with Lynn, I acknowledge when she's doing stuff. When she's struggling with something, I go, but you're going to be all right because you've never not blah, 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 blah. Right? So it's not just that with partners. And again, I'm going to say, you are using a love language for your husband. It just
is something you do. I've never thought about this with friends.
No, it is true. Like even coworkers, like it's a thing. It's like everybody knows that everybody. No, but I'm just saying. I have coworkers that I work with, and they are like they're you know, I've known people for. My best friend started off as my coworker, and me and him have been best friends for over 20 years, right?
I got coworkers that watch the show. Now I love y'all. I'm just saying,
clean it up.
I'm just saying, I ain't never thought about like love languages and like coworkers. Like we just be like we work together.
Yeah, I don't have love languages with my coworkers.
We go to lunch sometimes.
Well, I'll go with like I'm trying to say it's like when you see somebody, like when you say and they go, you know, good job, Lynn. Right. Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's the same thing with them. Like I have one of my coworkers. I work with a bunch of younger women. Shout out to everybody that I work at. You know, I have one young lady who, when she first started working there, and I first knew her, she was the kind of person. She was like, she was very shy, and touch was not her thing. Right. I was out sick for a couple of days. This was like as time went on. I was out sick, and she saw me and she ran to me and gave me a hug. I said, see, now that it changed. You know what I'm saying? As she matured, now she's a little bit, you know, she's showing that part of herself where her love language is now touch. It used to be like, don't touch me, you repulse me.
And love languages aren't written in stone, just to let you guys know. They change as circumstances change. Right. So let me give you an example. I have someone close to me, and her love language used to be physical touch for years, and then she got raped. And physical touch is not her love language. She remarried, everything happened, but physical touch is not her love language anymore. So
understandably so.
That's what I'm saying. People can like sex, and physical touch is still not their love language. 100%. So you have people who've been molested. They can love sex too, but physical touch is not their love language. So
it could be a trigger. That can actually be a trigger. Somebody coming next to you, like, wait a minute, hold up. Wait a minute.
Of course.
You're in my personal space. Wait a minute. Right. Yeah.
Get out my bubble.
All right. So then the last one that we have is.
Well, I want to say something quick on the words of affirmation.
Go ahead.
So I would imagine that it'll be more men would have that, because
physical touch.
No, words of affirmation. Because with men and women, I don't know what motherfuckers doing. Shout out to them though, but because like I think most men most men like value respect over most anything else.
Like
so it's like if a woman doesn't respect, like if you don't respect me, then you know, let's go ahead. It's time. It's a wrap.
Yeah, but which we'll talk. I don't want to go down rabbit hole, but that also comes from did I hear that when I was growing up, so that I can identify that as a way to feel love. We're not going down that rabbit hole, but
we gotta go down, the rabbit hole. I don't mind jumping. I be jumping, but
no.
But anyway,
you like words for affirmation too. You think about it, if you see you like, yo, player, you looking sharp today.
Yeah, or you know what also works?
That haircut is looking like you looking fresh. No, Mr. Chocolate, you don't like. You never ever in your life said somebody saw you, they was like, yo.
Oh, to me?
Yes.
Have you ever gone to a woman? Think about this. Have you ever gone to a man or a woman? I know I said woman for you, Mr. Chocolate. And they had straight face, cold face. And you be like, you're beautiful, or you looking good. That face cracks. They're like, thank you.
To a woman, yeah, to a woman, yeah.
A man too. Get out of here.
I don't want no dude saying, "Ooh, dude."
First, I said for you, a woman, because I knew you were going.
No, not a man to you, but I'm saying what I was trying to say is like I've literally said things like
I misunderstood.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
You did not listen to the language. You did not understand the language. But I have a friend. I have a friend who works out or whatever. He trains actually, and
that's a whole different world.
A whole nother world. So he trains or whatever.
I did bodybuilding back in the day.
I'll say things to him, and I'll be like, "Ooh."
Yeah. So guys who bodybuild, they're in a whole different headspace. They want to be seen.
Well, I have like people who come. If let's say like someone I know, a gentleman, he comes and he's dressed up. I'm like, okay. And it's not BS. I mean it.
Oh no, it's cool. It's cool when it's just like dudes don't really do that to you. Well, I guess some guys will.
What about when they're like, okay, player, where you going?
That's
right.
I don't talk like that.
You
I don't
be
know.
Feeling yourself.
I ain't part of that tribe. I ain't saying that it's not a thing.
That dude said he ain't part of that tribe.
All right, listen. What we're gonna do we're gonna log into the show early and go, all right, Tyrone, we want to show you we love you. So you could go ahead and log off, go fishing. And we're just gonna have our show. We're gonna do that.
That's a wife thing. That's my wife to do. That ain't for y'all to do. That's for her to do.
All right. So the last acts of service, or the last love language is gift giving. I noticed that a lot of people like that. It is not a big deal for me. Nah. And the reason why I'm saying is anyone could pull money out their pocket and buy something.
At all.
Right? Flowers, but that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. I'm just talking for myself. So gift giving does not have to be something that you purchased. It could be something you made. It could be, let's say, oh man, I noticed your jacket was ripped, and so I bought your new jacket. Fine. But it could also be, hey, I noticed your car needed to be detailed. I got your car. Because you would think it's acts of service, but it's not. It's gift giving. Yeah. So that's gift giving.
Yeah, that's a dark side of that.
It's real black and white.
I don't like gifts like that because
some people do. How many women go, my husband bought me a purse?
Like one of my things in life in general that bothers the hell out of me is people that give and then want to keep score and bring it up later. Oh, please don't do nothing for me. Don't do a thing for me. If I got to hear about it later.
You're doing it for yourself.
I hate that. It bothers me. And it always has since I was a little kid. Don't do nothing for me.
Well, some people do that because then they're like, you're carrying around a piece of me or blah, 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 blah.
Well, it's so funny because my son's love language is gifts, right? In other words, he enjoys getting gifts. He is a bomb gift giver. Like, I mean, he is really good. He is the best. When my birthday and Mother's Day comes around, because they're real close together, my God, it is such a beautiful thing. I love it from him because I know that's how he shows that he loves it, right? I also know that there are times when I'll be like, Timothy, go wash the dishes, go wash the dishes, go out, and I'll say it over and over and over again. And then he'll not only just wash the dishes, but clean the whole kitchen. That for me is like, oh, okay, because he knows that that's something I enjoy, and that's in my acts of service. Because he's always been like this since he was 4 years old. He used to carry the little girls' book bags because my son is a bigger kid, so he would carry all the little ones' book bags. acts of service and gift giving are his love language. So because I know that, right? Because I know that that's the way he gives love. Sometimes it's the way you like to receive love, right? So I know that when it comes to like his birthday, gotta make a big deal about his birthday. Any other day of the week, not a problem, but his birthday is very important to him. So yeah, you're going to try to figure out what to get him. He's the hardest person to buy something for because that's just not his thing. You know, like it's hard to buy stuff in. But because I know that he is a good, you know, that's his thing, I try so hard to get there. So love languages don't just always, like you said, it's all about, it's a relationships thing. So it's not just man and wife, you know, wife and wife, husband and husband. It's not like that.
It's not romantic partnership.
Family. It's the kids. It's like all of different things, right?
I can see that.
Because it's like love is not just romantic love, right? So
yeah.
I know when I first got married, I used to buy my wife stuff. I used to buy her like nice like jewelry and stuff, and she never liked it, and she would never wear it. So I was like, oh shit, she don't like that. So so then she was like, she likes little other stuff, so I'll get her whatever she likes, you know. And my daughter, like, buy my daughter, you know, little sneakers and she never wear them. They be fresh too. I'd be like, woo. All right. Then I was like, well, damn. All right, well, I guess I'm all right then. You know, she likes get her something to eat or something like that. And so you just do it. I mean, you just do what people like. I never read the love language book. It was just comments like, oh, they don't like that, you know. You just find what people like, and you kind of just listen.
Well, that's not everyday know-how for everyone, so it's wonderful.
But once you know what they like, and you know if you know, listen, if you love somebody, right, and you know what they like, and all it takes for you to do is do what they like. What is so hard? This is literally, I'm literally giving you, like I told people one time, I said, I was a guy, and I gave him the answer key. Remember that book the teachers had, and it had all the answers in it?
Yep.
I gave you the book. I gave you the answer key, and I gave you all the tests, and they're in the book. And you still can't get that shit right. Guess what? It's not about, now it's not me. That's you now.
But I will say, I don't think it's quite that simple, because sometimes you know what people like, okay? And they are how they are. And sometimes you are how you are. Like, they might, like with Rose, what she likes, she don't like touching people, okay? And so you may be like, damn it, but I like to be touched. So if you know, and you be like, you know what I like, touch me. And she's like, oh, but I don't like touching people. So it's not always quite that simple. And
no, it's not simple, but if you do care, even a little bit, you will give. And you know what the funny thing about that? If a person knows that, like say for instance, you don't like touch, and a person knows you don't like touch, but you still making that effort to touch them, that means that you love them.
Yeah,
in such a way that you will actually put yourself in a position where you're not necessarily comfortable, but you're doing it for them.
And I have an idea.
I agree there, but it's also on the other end, understanding. When the other person understands that this and you come together, it's not just, you know,
it's give and take.
So you understand, take, right? That's why I mean it's not as simple, because some people think relationships are simple like that. Hey, you should know what I like, you should do it, and if you don't do it, I'm gonna resent you. Holy shit! And then the other person's like,
well, that's not usually lasting love. How about
right?
That? Yeah, so and then they resent. Now y'all resenting each other. So understanding both ways is like a rubber band. You gotta, you know, it's gotta give and take a little bit. Right. Everybody doesn't always want to do that. So once you figure that part out, then now you on.
Well, I want to challenge everyone. So we so often think of love language as something that we external giving and taking, but we can also provide ourselves with that love as well. So quality time alone with yourself, to think, to meditate, and quality things like that. Quality time. Acts of service, go get your feet done, get your nails done, get a haircut, things like that. Maybe today I'm not going to clean the house. I'm going to pay a service to come and clean the house. Those are acts of service you do for yourself. Physical touch, go get a massage, go do Pilates, yoga. That's still your body, you know, going through those things. Words of affirmation. You should be giving yourself words of affirmation all the time. You should be going in the mirror, and if you got it, you be like, bitch, you got this. If that's what you have to do, you need to do. But we should definitely be doing words of affirmation, because the most important voice that speaks to you outside of those who are Christian is your own voice. It's your own voice. Right? I tell my staff all the time when they're having their own breakdowns about stress that we live in a world where you hear a lot of people, or you hear many voices putting you down and telling you negative stuff. Don't let your voice be that voice that does that to you. Right? And then you have gifts. Buy yourself something nice. Splurge every once in a while on yourself. So again, love languages does not just have to be external. It definitely should be internal so that it could come outwards to others.
Absolutely.
So.
I love that. That was a
that was off the dome, girl. Don't you love it?
All right, hey, shit, we in the show on that.
Right.
Well, we want to thank you guys for joining the Good Guy Experience. Where what, Tyrone?
The experience is always good.
Always good. Look out for the ladies of the Good Guy Experience.
Yes,
we will be on this Sunday, and we will be talking about the ability to seduce, but the challenge to love.
Oh my gosh, that sounds like super deep.
Thanks guys for letting me come back. That was
yes, and it won't be the last time. We love it.
It's an honor, it's a pleasure, it's a privilege. We appreciate you as always.
I felt right at home. I'm loving it.
Hey, and make sure you guys, if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, the YouTube channels is doing pretty good. It's growing.
Thank you.
It's growing. We appreciate everybody that's subscribing. And so if you're not subscribed, you are wrong. You're wrong. You're dead wrong. Dead wrong.
Those are not words of affirmation.
Subscribe, hit the like button on it, all of that. And so make sure you take care of us on YouTube. And so it's all good, man. Hey, just make sure, man, just treat each other good out here, man. Treat each other good. If you need to read that love language book, go ahead and read it. Okay. Just don't be, don't act crazy about it. All right.
Tyrone's stuck on that. Tyrone's like, don't use it to be more toxic.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we will see you guys next Wednesday. All right. Peace.